I woke up in my ex's bed, fully clothed. My husband filed for separation that same day, but what happened next will shock you. He had evidence I never saw coming. So, there I was, Sunday morning, completely confused about how I ended up in Tyler's bedroom when I clearly remember crashing on his couch. Tyler's my ex from college. We dated for like 2 months 6 years ago, but stayed friends after. My head was pounding from all the drinks at his housewarming party. And I could smell bacon cooking downstairs. Tyler was being so sweet, making breakfast and asking if I needed anything for my headache, which is more than my husband David ever does when I'm not feeling well. I stumbled downstairs and Tyler handed me coffee and aspirin. "You had way too much to drink last night," he said with this concerned look. "I didn't want you driving home in that condition, so I put you on the couch. But you must have gotten confused during the night." The drive home was torture. My phone kept buzzing with texts from David, but I was too scared to look. When I walked through our front door, he was sitting at the kitchen table with a manila folder in front of him and his laptop open. "Have a good night?" he asked without looking up. "David, I can explain everything. I had too much to drink and Tyler let me crash on his couch. Nothing happened, I swear." That's when he turned his laptop toward me. There were photos from the party. Me and Tyler dancing way too close. Me with my hand on his chest. Me laughing at something he whispered in my ear. In the last photo, we were heading upstairs together. "Sarah sent these to me at 2 in the morning, David said, along with a very interesting text message thread. He slid printed screenshots across the table. My stomach dropped. They were my texts with Tyler from the past 3 months. Messages I thought were private. "Tyler understands me in ways you never will. I wish I'd never let you go. David's been so distant lately. I feel so alone. Maybe we made a mistake getting married so young." I tried to explain. "Those are just messages between friends. We talk about everything. That's what friends do. Friends." David's voice was deadly calm. "Is that what you call telling another man you love him? Because that's in here too from last Tuesday." My blood ran cold. I remembered that text. I was upset after David and I had fought about the dishes and Tyler had been so supportive. I'd gotten emotional and maybe said things I shouldn't have. I didn't mean it that way. I love him like a friend, David. You're taking everything out of context. David stood up and walked to our bedroom. He came back with a suitcase. 3 years of marriage, he said, throwing clothes into the bag. 3 years of me trying to understand why you needed to stay so close to Tyler. 3 years of you telling me I was being paranoid and controlling. You are being controlling. Tyler is my friend. We dated for 2 months in college. That was 6 years ago. You've been having an inappropriate relationship for months, Jessica. The texts prove it. The photos prove it. Your own words prove it. I followed him around the house as he packed. I never cheated. I never slept with him. We're just friends who care about each other. You shared our marriage problems with another man. You told him you loved him. You spent last night in his bed. What would you call it? I had too much to drink. I made a mistake, but nothing physical happened." David stopped packing and looked at me with eyes I'd never seen before. Sarah said, "You two were all over each other at the party, making out on his porch before you went inside." Half the party saw it. My mind went blank. I remembered laughing with Tyler on the porch, but making out. "That's not true. Sarah's lying. 5 people texted me, Jessica. 5 different people saw you two together." He finished packing and headed for the door. "My lawyer will contact yours about the divorce papers, separation papers, over one night. Over a misunderstanding, over months of lies and betrayal, over you choosing him repeatedly, over you being in love with another man." The door slammed. I stood in our empty house, my phone buzzing with messages from friends asking if I was okay. Apparently, David had posted on Facebook that we were separating. By Monday morning, everyone at work was staring at me differently. Sarah had told everyone about the party. My boss called me into his office to ask if my personal issues would affect my performance. My sister called that afternoon. "Mom's concerned about you. She heard from David's mother that you cheated." I didn't betray anyone. Why is everyone acting like I committed a crime? I fell asleep in the wrong room. Jessica, be honest with me. Were you having feelings for Tyler? I paused too long. We're friends. We've always been friends. That's not what I asked. The next few days were hell. David blocked me on everything. My friends were divided. Some supported me. Others thought I'd crossed a line. Tyler kept texting me, asking if I was okay, offering to talk to David. Wednesday night, David's lawyer called. He was filing for separation immediately, citing inappropriate conduct and emotional abandonment. In Texas, that could affect how our assets were divided. But I never physically betrayed him, I told the lawyer. Inappropriate relationships can be grounds for fault separation in Texas. Ma'am, especially with this much documentation. I realized David had been collecting evidence for weeks. Screenshots, photos, witness statements. He'd been planning this. Thursday morning, I woke up to find my Facebook and Instagram flooded with comments. Someone had shared the party photos publicly. My co-workers, my family, my college friends. Everyone could see me wrapped around Tyler. My mom called crying. How could you do this to David? He's such a good man. I didn't do anything. We're friends. Friends don't act like that, Jessica. Friends don't tell each other they love them when they're married to someone else. By Friday, David had moved all his stuff out. The house felt enormous and empty. Tyler came by to check on me. This is insane, he said, sitting on my couch. David's acting like you murdered someone. Everyone thinks I cheated. My own family thinks I'm terrible. You didn't cheat. We're friends. You were drunk and upset and needed somewhere to sleep. But as Tyler talked, I remembered more from that night. The way we danced. The way I'd felt in his arms. The way I'd looked at him and thought about what could have been. Tyler, did anything happen that night? After we went upstairs, he looked uncomfortable. You were pretty drunk. You said some things. What things? You said you married the wrong person. You said you still had feelings for me. You kissed me. My world tilted. I kissed you just once, but then you passed out and I put you in my bed because you seemed sick. I slept on the couch. Everything clicked. The photos, the texts, the kiss. I didn't remember. David was right. I'd been emotionally cheating for months without even realizing it. I'd been sharing our problems with Tyler instead of working on them with David. I'd been comparing my husband to my ex and finding him lacking. But it was too late. David had already filed. Our friends had already chosen sides. My family had already judged me. I sat in my empty house, realizing I'd lost everything over something I kept telling myself was innocent friendship. But deep down, I knew it was never just friendship. I'd been holding on to Tyler because he made me feel special in a way David never could. The divorce was final. 2 months later, David got the house, half our savings, and everyone's sympathy. I got the crushing realization that I destroyed my marriage for a fantasy. I never cheated physically. So I don't understand why everyone is treating me like the villain. Subscribe if you think emotional betrayal is still real.